Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NGS. I am Jason, and I have got a Division B doubleheader coming up for you guys. It is going to be Roll1 Esports and Drop Dead Gorgeous kicking it off, and we are ready to go in already for map number 1 here. Braxis Holdout, which was the map choice here for Drop Dead Gorgeous, who won the toss and elected to ban out Battlefield of Eternity. Roll1 then banned out Towers of Doom in this matchup. Braxis Holdout was the pick for Drop Dead Gorgeous, and Roll1 decided to take us to Dragonshire for game number 2. So first pick, first ban will be for Roll1 to kick things off here tonight. Anzo going to be kicking off the bans to start the night. Not a huge shocker, as the Shimada brothers usually targeted early in these ban phases. So we are going to see that be the first ban of choice here. We'll have to see if they respond with the Genji. Genji's pretty powerful on this map with his ability to quickly dash and jump over walls. Can kind of be a pseudo-global here on Braxis. And in general, very good with that deflection against the boss. Very good for diving onto backliners. Just in general, very good in the meta right now. So the ban will come out here. And it's going to be first pick going over to Roll1. So they've got a lot of options here. They can go with the very strong ETC. They can start trying to win in the healer department. Just a lot of options for them. They can start with a gray main and get a lot of extra damage. They can start to try and get a leg up in the wave clear department with like a Gul'dan. But they're going to start off with ETC. So that's pretty much the standard first pick protocol right now in Heroes of the Storm. ETC head and shoulders above the next best tank in the meta, and so that is the direction they're going to go in to kick things off in this draft phase. 2 picks coming up here for Drop Dead Gorgeous. Lucio and Stukov have been 2 very highly contested supports. They want to try and get their support here before the next ban phase, and before they could potentially get choked out from getting to pick one of those 2 healers. They could also go for a tank themselves here. If they've got a tank they want in mind, now's probably a good chance to get it before this next ban phase. Probably want to pick up at least one of their damage dealers, possibly a gray main. But we've seen be popular in the meta recently, though we've seen a lack of success particularly in HGC. Chromie, though, has been not lacking in the strong win percentage department. Very good poke onto the points, a very good controlled damage, and at level 8 can get that slowing sands to be able to really put a lot of pressure onto these beacon points. Malfurion also going to be picked up here for Drop Dead Gorgeous. I really like that pick. Chromie doesn't suffer from too many mana problems if her mana is spent wisely, but Malfurion with that Innervate really allows Chromie to stay in lane, to continue to constantly pressure, and good sustained healing as well in that bot lane. The roots can be very impactful here on Braxis Holdout with the narrow entrance points to these beacons. And just in general, you could put the root right down on the beacon to really put a lot of pressure on anybody who's trying to capture the point when it's contested. The 2 picks coming up here for Roll1 Esports, we'll see the Jaina coming out, which is a pretty good combo with the ETC, and a Rhaegar to follow it up. So I don't know if I like the Rhaegar pick right now in this meta. I feel like he has fallen off quite a lot, which hurts me to say because he's my most played hero. But he just doesn't have as good a sustained healing as the main 3 sustained healers in the game right now, which is Malfurion, Lucio, and Stukov. But they're going to try it out. They're going to do the Rhaegar. He does have decent wave clear to contribute on this map. He does have potentially some pretty solid healing on the point when it comes to that Ancestral and being able to help somebody pressure to control those points post 10. And of course the mobility is nice. He's able to quickly mount up and rotate if they need to get quickly to a beacon in another lane or just rotate around. He's also still a decent camp taker. Not quite as strong as when they changed his lightning talent at 1. They took it away, actually. They completely took away the double lightning shield. That kind of hurt his wave clear a bit, but overall he's still pretty popular in HGC, and he's got kind of a rocky win rate. But meanwhile, we do see Greymane and Zeratul being banned out here, so we did see Drop Dead Gorgeous playing as Zeratul previously on this map, and it was fairly effective. Again, a very mobile hero, so able to pressure these points, go into stealth mode, and capture these points. While it can be difficult to notice, so it can be, a sneak attack to capture these beacon points sometimes for the Zeratul. Also, the rotational ability is nice, so they're just going to ban that out. They don't want to deal with it. Greymane also banned out on the other side, so good kill pressure potential with the Chromie. This Chromie's got a lot of good poke potential, does a lot of chunk damage, but she's not that great at actually getting kills, at actually getting finishing kills. That's not really her strength. Her strength is getting heroes low to allow a hero like a Genji, like a Greymane, to chunk them down. So I'm a little surprised to see them ban those heroes out here, but it's because they were going for the Alarak. Alarak, decent at being able to get those final hits, does have a good ranged ability to get just that little bit of damage you need. And Garrosh, very strong pressure designated hero. He's able to sit on a point and sustain very well with his armor passive, and sustain through a lot of those long fights. Also a good pairing with the Malfurion because of the slow tick healing, which will give him the ability to stay alive, but doesn't heal him up too far where he loses a lot of that armor. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. He gets to continue to live, but is still harder to kill because he's getting progressively more tanky the more health you take away. So I really like that combination here. Plus the cannonball into the roots, and just a lot of CC in general over there. Meanwhile, the side of Roll1 Esports picking up Thrall and Ragnaros. That's a very strong front line for the side of Roll1. They're going to be looking to be able to dive in and get after the Malfurion, after the Chromie, put a lot of pressure on the Alarak. Though Alarak is pretty strong against those other melee with his ability to combo and silence. They'll have to see if it works out for them. You're probably looking at a solo lane Ragnaros here. They will probably put Thrall in the bottom lane, and it's a nice CC chain. You got the ETC slide into the Thrall roots, into the Jaina combo. And that's a lot of Jaina damage coming down onto one target if they're able to isolate someone other than the Garrosh. Even the Garrosh will take quite a lot of damage, but of course they'll be looking for somebody else. So the question here, what is going to be the back, or what is going to be the... Alarak's probably the solo lane. Though they could still draft a solo laner for Drop Dead. Probably another backline damage dealer. And there's your solo laner. So Zagara, for sure, is going to be that solo lane. And Alarak will be down in lane, pressuring. So I like that from Drop Dead. They decide to go ahead and wait to pick up their solo laner until the end, see what's going to be on the other side. And as soon as they see Ragnaros, who doesn't really have much of an ability to contest ranged solo laners, they pick up the Zagara. Now, this is also going to be a map control strategy coming out from Drop Dead. They're going to want to drop the creep on both sides of the map, constantly be able to rotate around, leave Zagara out in the opposite lane to pressure, and with that global ability post 10 with the Nidus network, is able to quickly rotate around and cause a lot of problems for the side of Roll1, constantly getting that extra side soak, while the rest of the members of Drop Dead can shark around for ganks. I really like this comp coming out from Drop Dead. Definitely a matchup that favors Drop Dead this week. They are coming out of a pretty decent week this last week, moving up in the power rankings here for NGS B West Division. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them have an impressive performance tonight, but we'll see what Roll1 has for Drop Dead. See if they can pull something out of their hat tonight and get themselves some points. We are loading in here. onto Brax's holdout. On the left, it is going to be Roll1 Esports. Zad is going to be on the Ragnaros. MJ Doom on ETC. Mango is going to be on the Thrall. Junaba is going to be on the Jaina, and Tofts will be on Rhaegar.
10 seconds.
On the right, Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's going to be Trent on the Zagara. We're going to have Pugs Not Drugs on the Alarak. Unitas is going to be on the Malfurion. Chaos is going to be on Chromie, and Gelda will be on the Garrosh. I think also the pickup of Alarak for Pugs Not Drugs here. It could very well have been a denial pick. It's well known here in the B division that Mango is a very strong Alarak player. So instead, they're going to force Mango onto that Thrall and get that Alarak for themselves. This will not be Pugs Not Drugs' first rodeo though on the Alarak. We do see the silence instantly coming out here as they try to single out Zad, but they are turning on to Gelda here. And we'll be able to get a decent amount of damage out, but this is about the HP where Garrosh really thrives. You know, he's not really too worried about it. The root and the telekinesis into the root there by Pugs Not Drugs, not quite enough follow-up damage, but Zad being heavily pressured here. And right now, the side of Roll1 Esports are being pushed around and bullied a little bit here in the bottom lane as the beacons have started to activate. Mango versus Trent here. Mango actually doing a little bit better on the HP than I might expect him to. He does have good sustain in lane, so I suspect that he will be able to contest up here when they're in lane and he's getting a lot of those hits out onto the minions. But I kind of doubt his ability to contest the point against Zagara. And right now, with the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous winning the bot lane, that's going to be 2 of these beacons charging now for the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous. We are going to see the rotation in, though, from Roll1. They're going to come up and contest with 3, so they'll be able to take one of these points back. ETC actually are also starting to roll on in here. Pugs Not Drugs hits the combo out onto Tofts. They're going to get some of this, but he will back up as he sees MJ Doom sliding on in. Meanwhile, 3 members down here for Drop Dead Gorgeous have actually decided to come on down and push in. Zad actually gets tossed. The roots are cutting him off, and that is going to be 1 dead Lord of Fire. Ragnaros falling, and now the pressure going to be turned up to 11 by Drop Dead Gorgeous. Meanwhile, right now, the Roll1 Esports up here in the top, just holding on to the point. But right now, about a level lead coming out for Drop Dead as they got first blood there. They're getting a lot of lane soak here that is being missed out by Roll1 after Zad falling there. Now, of course, Ragnaros can be the solo laner, so they can be a little bit flexible here for the side of Roll1. They did send the Thrall up first, but right now he is pressuring Trent off of this point. But you can see a ton of damage coming down onto Mango. Now with Pugs Not Drugs rolling on in here, he's going to have to back away. And in this 4v3 situation, Roll1 Esports got to make something happen. Brawl ends up falling in the top lane. So they are able to come in and get the point and get about 6% casted there. But at the end of the day, with Thrall falling in the top lane, that's going to be more XP from the kill going over to Roll1 Esports. It's all, or going over to Drop Dead Gorgeous, I should say. It's also going to be more XP. Oh, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Meanwhile, we do see Pugs Not Drugs and friends here getting the point back. They will be casting the beacon once again, and back and forth they go. Mango comes in and is able to push Trent off for the moment. Oh, but a huge root coming down as they're able to zone them here off of Pugs Not Drugs. It looked like he had been caught out a little bit and taking some damage, but Malfurion able to get those sustained heals out. And you can see it's just not the same for the Rhaegar. The Rhaegar constantly, you know, Top's trying to throw out these chain heals, but it's not enough healing. It's a very long cooldown. You don't get even the possibility of cooldown reduction on that chain heal until level 13. Though most people actually take the shield. This might be a good situation for that 13 talent, though. But for now, Pugs Not Drugs coming in onto Junaba. Wanabe? I don't know. Onto Jaina. Getting some damage out, but well tap is available. Oh, meanwhile, Sakara and Thrall trading out in the top lane. Oh my goodness. Well, he didn't lose the point, ladies and gentlemen. And that's really the true point. And look at Pugs Not Drugs, not afraid to go in onto Zad there. Gets the combo out instantly. Meanwhile, the root coming out onto the Jaina. MJ Doom looking a little bit low on the point here. Is going to have to back out. Pugs Not Drugs hitting the telekinesis, but kind of missing the silence there. Once again, the side of Roll1 is going to have to back up. And see an interesting change out here for Roll1 Esports. Oh, overlay. My bad. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. That went on for quite a while. I didn't notice. I appreciate it, though. Wanaba. Who do you see Gelda going down here? And the slide in. 3-man slide from MJ Doom. Did he go too far is the question. Oh, nice telekinesis into the damage combo there. Meanwhile, we do see the time loop, but a very nicely timed cleanse coming out there from Toffs to be able to prevent MJ Doom from getting hit by that Chromie combo. But that is not the real story, ladies and gentlemen. The real story are the Zerg, who are filing their way on down the bot lane. And meanwhile, Pugs Not Drugs getting a ton of damage out onto Zad. Chaos just barely missing the combo there. Well, we are going to see Zad coming on out into this Molten Core, trying to deter. But look at the positioning of Pugs Not Drugs here. He knows where Zad's going to come out of this. And he's going to try to get him with the combo. Is able to get him with telekinesis, but the damage not quite there. He's still chasing. They actually toss Unitas in to try and get that kill. They do eventually get the finish off. Love the positioning there for Pugs Not Drugs. He was going after it. They're able to take down the Molten Core fairly quickly. The Zerg wave coming down here into the bot lane. Going to start pressuring this front wall. Level 10's right around the corner. Waniba. Alright. We got it now. Waniba. MJ Doom getting tossed out and taunted. But the return damage on Alarak is good here. Gelda also getting very low. Have they overstayed even with these level 10s? Somehow Roll1 Esports able to get a kill onto the Alarak, able to push them back here and save some keep damage. They're going to be getting their level 10 real soon here. Don't worry, Kendo. It's just a meme, man. It's just I don't know how to pronounce names. It's just a meme. But Kelda and friends over here getting this bruiser camp now. Zad gonna go ahead and walk into the time trap on purpose because he knew where it was. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Meanwhile, both teams rotating around, getting camps right now. Both teams also having their level 10s here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what these guys are picking. We do have the Counter-Strike Time Loop. Why is it escaping me all of a sudden? The Twilight Dream. I swear I know what that talent is. The Nidus Network and the Warlord's Challenge. Meanwhile, we do see a ton of damage coming out. Ring of Frost and the combo coming out onto the Malfurion. And look at the toss in. MJ Doom in a lot of trouble. Gets hit by the time loop. The Ancestral there, though, to get him healed back up. But he's still behind the wall. Is going to somehow escape the keep. But they do get the kill on to Ragnaros and Rhaegar on the other side as they were in there trying to save the ETC. And MJ Doom's not going to end up making it out. 1 for 3 there. They get the Garrosh. What an interesting exchange there in top. Oh, and Pugs Not Drugs trying to get Waniba. Not quite able to finish the job, though. Anyway, I think we were going over heroics. Sulfurous Smash is going to be the stage dive coming out for ETC, along with Sundering, Ring of Frost, and Ancestral Healing. We did it, Reddit. We did it. Yeah. It was nuts. You're right. You're right. So we are going to see right now, for the moment, Drop Dead Gorgeous capping both of those points. We'll get a little bit of power soak there. And they do indeed have the Nidus network. Oh, and here comes the rewind. Toph's going to get hit by a ton of damage there. MJ Doom, in the meantime, has been kicked out, but the stage dive goes right into the enemy team. But MJ Doom makes it out somehow, but eventually goes down. Oh my goodness. The Alarak damage. The long-range Alarak damage, but he pays for it. 2 for 1. That's that moment where you go to stage dive and you just click on the closest thing on the screen. Wasn't quite far enough to get him out of trouble there. Oh. Very, very entertaining though. That's much for sure. Mango caught out here. Gonna be tossed and taunted and eventually taken down by Gelda and Unitas. I've probably said Unitas and Unitas tonight. I don't. Again, you know, it's the meme. It's the meme again. I've heard it both ways. But we do see the Zerg being capped here in the top lane. Zad, once again, is going to position some Molten Core to try and prevent this, but he might want to save that for the keep, and he is going to think better of it as the Zerg wave and Drop Dead Gorgeous in general coming down hard in this top lane. They do have level 13 to try and defend this out. They've got the ETC in the bot lane, side soaking, trying to pressure out the Zag, and Zad is going to end up going into the Molten Core here to try and get some damage out. Get that wave clear potential. The stage dive is available if ETC wants to come up here. That global ability to jump right in is there, but we're going to see Zad once again getting tossed as soon as he comes out of there, but the Ring of Frost will hit a couple members. The Sundering also coming in, but an unfortunately timed Sulfurous Smash goes right on top of the Sunder, and they cancel each other out. Unitas goes down, though, with the stage dive coming in from MJ Dune on the backside, able to get a couple of them down, but all the while in the bot lane, Dagara pushing, able to get a ton of damage onto this keep. Doesn't quite confirm the keep, but the split soak is real. Meanwhile, we are going to see the members of Roll1 Esports looking to take advantage here and try to get this boss. Mango, though, taking a ton of damage from the Banelings. Oh, and Rhaegar gets taken down here by Pugs Not Drugs, and I don't know if Drop Dead Gorgeous wants to leash this. Chaos, though, taking a ton of damage, and the Meatball coming in from Zad. They are going to confirm the boss, the Counter-Strike, wrecking Zad. Pugs Not Drugs will trade out for the Ragnaros. Whew. The boss gets confirmed by Roll1 Esports. They got what they came for. But at what cost? At what cost? They lose 2 members, but they trade 1 for 2. Chromie also went down there in the early part of that, so I suppose it's really 2 for 2. You're right, the Garrosh is getting a lot of work done. I believe I saw a match of last week of Drop Dead Gorgeous. Who was it? It was Drop Dead Gorgeous, I think, versus Dank Team that I was watching. That these guys played the Garrosh, and they just wrecked with it. They just went completely uncontested all game from this Garrosh. The Gelda really has a good understanding of how to use this hero, and good follow-up from Drop Dead Gorgeous. They've been a team for quite a long time, a very long-standing amateur squad. And so they're good at follow-up. They're good at the team fighting thing. They've got good synergy, as you would expect. I really just basically said the same thing 3 times, but don't mind me. We do have 4 members here in the top trying to defend, but it is a 4v5. They have this camp that is providing the is this one that gives the spell reduction? I forget. I know that the mage does. I don't know if this one does, actually, now that I think about it. But we are seeing them pressure in here in the top. Right now, good positioning from Drop Dead Gorgeous. What you're seeing here is them positioning to try and catch somebody out. Gelda trying to wait until somebody overextends a little bit too much while their backliners poke out. They've also got Zagara taking the bottom keep with this camp. So they're just playing very patiently right now. They know that the game is in their hands and that they're way ahead right now, so they don't have to really force the issue. We do see Roll1 rotate to the bottom, and so Drop Dead steps up to go ahead and get on the beacon. They're playing a very good macro game right now, and they are now going to swap it up. They're going to leave Zagara up in the top lane to split push. They're going to 4-man rotate down here. And they're actually going to catch, I think, Roll1 a little bit off guard. They get a lot of that casted, but they're also not going to push the issue. They know it's a 4v5. They know they're winning the race to 20, especially with that global Zagara constantly pressuring them out there. I love how this has lived down here this whole time. By the way, that Nidus network. That sneaky backdoor Nidus network. Just in case the side of Drop Dead ever want a pressure core. Somewhere down the road. But they do have Zagara pressuring the keep up in the top. He's going to get a little bit of damage done with that. We're going to see Mango rotating up, but a smart rotation by Trent. As soon as he sees missing members here in the bot area, they rotate up. He rotates out. They grab the beacon. And we're going to go right back to rotating around and playing the keep away game. And again, they test the waters. Gelda steps up, gets on the point, starts to cap it for just a second, and then backs off as soon as he sees the members of Roll1 Esports rolling on in to take that back. But I like this rotation here from Roll1. Mango coming down here trying to pressure Trent. I actually thought the Ragnaros was also going to go there. They had Ragnaros down here as well. This could be a pick, but Mango might get it anyway. Getting very close. Trent very low on health. Does still have the possibility of hitting another lightning, but oh, an excellent rotation there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jaina ends up falling. So once again, Drop Dead Gorgeous doing a very nice job of rotating around and playing keep away. Meanwhile, we do see Mango getting very low. We see Toffs getting hit by that time loop, and right now they are chasing after him. But Doggy can run. MJ Doom, though, stepping out a little bit too far as the members of Roll1 are getting split up here. A couple of catapults also starting to chip away at the shields. Meanwhile, the cast is on here, 70% and counting. The Zerg wave is going to be marching into this bot lane soon, and the members of Drop Dead Gorgeous know it. They're going to come in. They're going to get started on this. They're going to get the lane clear anyway. They're looking to see if they can find Zad out, trying to find somebody for Gelda to flip. Doesn't have the pull-in anymore, of course, on the Garrosh Q, but can still throw somebody if he gets close enough. Oh, and we are going to see him walking forward, getting the stun out onto Zad. Right now, zoning him away from being able to Molten Core here, which is very important. We do see Chaos has finished that Q, and we now have the double Q coming out for the Chromie. Stage dive onto the back end as they try and engage us from the back. They get the Zagara down. Ring, though, not landing. And on the backside, Zad actually goes back and gets the Molten Core, but the core is going down. Gelda trying to do some damage to this thing. Chaos doesn't really have the best siege. Throws down the last ability, but it's a full team wipe. And a 3% core wipe here for the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous. So now the question is, what can Roll1 do with this? They have to leave somebody back to push out the lanes. And they're going to go directly to boss. Or are they? Yeah, they are. They're going to go to boss. They're going to pick up the boss. And they're going to see exactly what they can do with this. try and push with it. They have to be careful, though. This Zagara can backdoor the core and get 3% at any point in this game. That backdoor Nidus network is just chilling in bot, waiting. And, I don't know. Is Trent going to do it? Is he going to do it? He's going to go into the Nidus. Or is he going to come out? Nope, he's going to come out right there. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Boss is pushing in the bot lane, though, so saving grace here for Drop Dead Gorgeous. But level 20s have been picked up. But the members are up here for Drop Dead Gorgeous. Question is, can Roll1 make a huge comeback here? I think the side of Drop Dead are giving them an opportunity here. They're going to defend out the boss ripping apart the top here. They also have a huge wave in the top lane. The boss ripping through the bottom lane. And this could be a keep play, but Mango actually gets caught out, but a huge bolt to get him out of that situation. MJ Doom sliding in on the backside. The ring is actually going to just barely clip the Malfurion. The ice block comes out, though. But the huge Sunder to back it up here. And all of a sudden, Roll1 Esports are moving into the core. The molten core going down. And the boss stepping up. The boss does end up falling, but Gelda is going to go down. Oh, but the members of Roll1 are so low. Can they take advantage of this? They still have the molten core active for another couple seconds. All 5 members are up. They have no core pressure on the other side to try and go through the shields and the 3%. They are going to stay here. They're going to try and get this finished. Chaos on this Chromie is such a strong anti-sieging tool, though. Can they get the core finished? They haven't even worked through the shields yet, and they are going to go ahead and back off. But, oh, we got to look out, though. MJ Doom gets hit by that time trap. We'll be able to make it out for now, and the game will continue, but back and forth we go. Roll1 Esports getting a team fight win, getting a couple of picks as they go in to try and open up the win condition in bot. And now they're actually getting the Zerg. If they're able to get this Zerg wave, I'm not sure what exactly Drop Dead can do to come back from this. Oh my goodness. We are going to see Pugs Not Drugs rotating up here and grabbing this top beacon. So for now, Roll1 Esports is not going to have this Zerg wave. They got 20% left, but they got a cap. We're going to see them... Oh, backdoor call incoming here. They're sharking around. I think they're going to go backdoor, and this is not good for the side of Roll1 Esports. The core is not healthy on this side, and Pugs Not Drugs charging in is going to start the damage. We are going to see the stage dive, but the core health is falling. 84% on the other side, but only 3%. And it's too little too late. Roll1 Esports not able to quite finish the job, but much closer than the experts would have thought, as this ends in a base race. But a very exciting game number 1 here on Brax's Holdout. You gotta respect Roll1 Esports for coming back in that match. I thought that they were kind of down for the count there as that bottom Zerg wave rolled on in the bot lane, but they were able to defend the core with that 3% team wipe. They were able to get the boss and get some momentum back, just not quite able to finish. A little bit better macro calling from the much more experienced team of Drop Dead Gorgeous. And they're able to close out game number 1. Give you guys a quick snapshot of their talents so you guys can see what these guys were building towards. And then we are going to go ahead and get game number 2 set up. Don't mind me, just more me. All right, so game number 2, we are going to go to Dragonshire. Pretty good map in its own right. Does share a lot of similarities with Brax's Holdout. Get our team captains on in here. This time it's going to be first pick, first man going over to the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous. Yeah, but if you couldn't get hyped about that game number 1 finish, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, they had a couple of the members come back. Now that I'm actually looking at it, they had Mango come back, which Mango is on the Thrall is a decent amount of core damage. Probably not enough to make up the difference. Like they needed to really like charge in there and go directly for core. You could see them kind of pushing in the bot lane. Like, if they were going to do a backdoor core call to try and race, like, for the side of Roll1, like, they needed to just go in like we saw Drop Dead Gorgeous do. We even saw Pugs Not Drugs hitting the deadly charge to get in on that core as fast as possible. Yeah. Well, and to be fair, Kendo, I don't think that Roll1 could have base raced anyway. Like even if they had gone a little bit faster, I think that as soon as Drop Dead Gorgeous made that call to go into the core, I think that's kind of was all she wrote. Doom. Oh. I guess I had somebody in the observer slot that wasn't supposed to be there. All right, we'll make sure these teams are ready to go for game number 2, and it looks like they are. So we are going to head on in for game number 2 here. It is going to be Dragonshire, and this time I'll try to remember to swap the overlay when we're done. Drop Dead Gorgeous is going to be looking to pick themselves up another win here. Score themselves a domination for the 2nd game in a row here in NGS. They had a very nice win Sunday night over Game Freaks, who's another pretty strong team in B Division West. Roll1 Esports also coming off a victory this last week. I believe they scored a victory over Subject to Change, I want to say. So both teams with a little bit of momentum coming into this match for sure. But Drop Dead Gorgeous definitely favored from the power rankings, though of course power rankings aren't everything. They don't tell us the whole story. Like which team's going to wipe with 3% on the core and which team's going to quicker call a base race. Those are the kind of things that you can't put on a stat sheet, you know? It just is impossible. So we'll see the more standard Hanzo band coming out here from Drop Dead Gorgeous, but Roll1 Esports actually deciding that they don't want to deal with that Chromie for a 2nd game in a row. So they're going to go ahead and ban that out here. And I like that call. Chromie still kind of annoying to deal with on Dragonshire. With the small rotation areas into the shrines. But that is going to give Drop Dead Gorgeous the ETC this time around, and the heavy possibility of stage dive for this map. Now we're going to have 2 picks coming out here for Roll1 Esports. I'll have to see what they want to prioritize here. We didn't see Lucio or Stukov coming out in that last match. Pick or ban, which is kind of surprising. Finally. So this time, Roll1 Esports is going to go ahead and pick up that Alarak. They're going to go ahead and make sure they get Mango their Alarak nice and early in this game. Not going to let it be stolen away by Pugs Not Drugs. They're also going to pick up the Uther, who we've seen a lot more in HGC. That armor passive has been proven to be quite effective post this support apocalypse that we had last month. Genji coming out on the other side, though. The Shimada brother that made it through the first ban phase. Gul'dan also, and I love the Gul'dan pick here. As soon as the Uther comes out, you start thinking spread poison damage, which is the really good counter to Uther. More traditionally seen in the Lunara, but that's mostly because of the Splintered Spear talent at level 7 for Lunara. Gul'dan gets the same kind of split AoE dot damage right from level 1. So it can be very, very strong against Uther. Not to mention the Genji. Again, with that kind of sustained spread damage, especially with the Dragon Blade. And good dive potential too. So right now, Roll1 Esports haven't picked their backline damage dealers yet. But assuming that they're going to pick any, they're going to be under pretty high duress from this Genji. Especially if Uther ends up utilizing those healing spells early in a team fight. I mean, if I'm Drop Dead Gorgeous, I'm trying to get Malthael as my solo laner. And then just a good burst prevention healer in these last 2 picks, such as like Stukov. Possibly Rhaegar, but I don't know. Rhaegar, he feels bad right now, so... Maybe Alex Straza. Maybe Alex Straza or Stukov. Meanwhile, on the other side, Roll1 Esports, they have to have something in that front line that's going to be good at trying to deal with the Genji. It's kind of impossible to peel a Genji. That's why he's so powerful. But ultimately, you want some kind of tank that can at least try to deal with him a little bit. Something like maybe a Varian. A Taunt Varian can be good at getting back to Genji when he dives the back line. Though with Uther, they don't have a traditional backline healer on the side of Roll1. So this could just be Genji lockdown, where you don't really pick a backliner. Or if you pick a backline damage dealer, it could be something like a Cassia that's got a little bit more sustain, it's a little more beefy. But we'll have to see what Roll1 wants to do with it. They could also go into something with a little bit of mobility of their own, like a Li Ming, to try and be able to at least make Genji work for it when he dives in the back line. You're right, Kendo. I mean, I know from experience, because we played Roll1 and we scouted that out. We knew how good Mango's Hallarak was. I don't have the experience of playing against it, though. A great so they are going to go into the Varian to try and counter out this Genji and the Vala on the back line. So I'm still worried about the Vala on the back line there, but ultimately, they do have the Varian. They also have Uther, who can kind of peel. Now this time the Rhaegar is going to be going over to Drop Dead Gorgeous. So one thing I will say for Rhaegar right now is he still fills the same role that he used to fill as a support in terms of being good to help divey heroes. So it's good on the Genji to be able to throw out your lightning shield and give a little bit of extra damage to the dive hero. The Ancestral is also good when the dive hero starts to get a little bit low. Rhaegar could quickly wolf run in, get into range for that Ancestral, and get a big heal to allow the diver to continue pressuring the backline. So he's also still a good, decent camp taker and rotator. So even though his healing numbers are down quite a lot, he still can be impactful if he's used correctly. And it is going to be the Malthael coming out from Drop Dead Gorgeous for that solo lane. So very, very solid draft coming out here from Drop Dead Gorgeous. A decent counter draft coming out from Roll1. But the big thing I'm looking at in this game is that X factor. They've let Mango have the Alarak. And, big players make big plays in big game situations. And for Roll1 right now, they've fallen a little bit behind in the BOS standings as far as points goes. So every point is going to count for them for the rest of the season. If they can steal a point and get a draw here, against the number 3 ranked team in the division, Drop Dead Gorgeous. That's going to be a big boost for them, and they almost did it in this last game, so there's no reason for me to think that they can't do it here. They're even going to steal the Zagara strategy from Drop Dead Gorgeous this last game. And I love that call. Drop Dead Gorgeous, very team fight oriented, very in your face. We want to brawl. Not a whole lot of global ability and not a whole lot of macro rotation oriented heroes. I mean, obviously Drop Dead Gorgeous can still play the game that way. But Haunt variant has 2 little wave clear with Uther and Alarak. That's true, Radic. That's a very good point. It is low wave clear, but that's made up a lot by the Vala and the Zagara. Zag's main strategy, I think this map is going to be to rotate around and get a lot of that extra wave clear. So I don't know that I'm that worried about the wave clear here for the side of Roll1 Esports. Oh, excuse me.
Heroes, prepare for
that is actually the wrong overlay. So let me get the right overlay for you guys. And get it right off the bat. We're also going to remember the talents. And we've loaded on in here to Dragonshire for game number 2. On the left, Roll1 Esports looking to pull this thing to a draw. It is going to be MJ Doom on the variant. Wanaba is going to be on the Vala. Mango going to be on that classic Alarak. Tofts is going to be on Uther. And Zad will be on the Zagara. Meanwhile, on the right, Drop Dead Gorgeous we're gonna have Chaos on the Gul'dan, Trent on the Genji, Gelda on the ETC, Unitas is gonna be on the Rhaegar, and Pugs Not Drugs on the Malthael. So right away, both these teams rotating some members to the mid, all the members to the mid here for Drop Dead Gorgeous, but we're gonna see Zad instantly putting the Zagara up here top, laying down some of this creep, and laying down the groundwork to be quite the lane bully. Also taking that level 1 talent upgrade to the ranged minions, so those archers going to be dealing a little bit of extra damage. And the side of Roll1 Esports getting the first pick here this game onto the ETC. A little too much focus there on the solo lane, but we do see first blood for Roll1. Good way to start the game, but, at the end of the day, first blood doesn't really matter that much. It's more of a pride thing than anything else. We're going to see the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous, actually, rotating to this camp. So very early camp rotations by both teams. Very impressive. They don't make the same call, but they both make calls to rotate and grab camps early. And I can tell both these teams, this is going to be a competitive game right out the gate. Oh, but the rotation coming in onto Chaos. Was the combo from Mango. The damage coming down. The stun on Tofts. Gotta have to be careful. This is a very scary combination they got down here. Pugs Not Drugs. Gonna be hanging out. So we'll have to see. Right now, both teams prioritizing the lanes that have their camps, which I like quite a lot. And because they prioritize different camps, that's not really going to intersect too much. We are going to see Pugs Not Drugs down here being able to poke. Oh, but Mango hitting him with that telekinesis combo. Trying to punish him a little bit for stepping out there and getting that damage out. And we are going to see them pushing in with this siege camp, but on the other end, Gelda and friends here. 4-man push. Pressuring back Zad. They've gotten a lot of damage out onto him, and he's got to be very careful here. Chaos has the damage, and Trent, yeah, the charging. I was about to say, like, between the Gul'dan and the Genji, that's a rough life up there for the Zagara. But on the other side, the side of Roll1 actually trading out what I would even say is a more worthwhile trade. You got 3 different camps that feed into this bottom lane, and top lane it's very tough to capitalize on an advantage in the top lane because of the nature of those death bridges as you try and lean into the keeps. But this is very open here in the bot. Not only have they managed to get the bottom fort down, but they've also grabbed both camps, full camp denial. They're grabbing a third camp now here, is Roll1 Esports. And they've got the Zag up top splitting. The one nice advantage that Drop Dead Gorgeous does get from that top lane is that the solo laner lane up there. Ooh, Gelda actually slides in there. We'll get back to that point in a second. The face melt does do a nice job of zoning them off, but right now, Toffs and MJ Doom still on the point. But a lot of damage coming down here from Drop Dead Gorgeous, and this is not what Roll1 Esports wanted to get into here. The heavy team fighting comp for the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous is going to favor them. Favor them in those kind of situations with that fight on the camp. So Roll1 Esports playing a little bit into the hand. We do see Zad capping this top camp, and we'll at least get that top lane pushing out a little bit. But that is going to be the first Dragon Knight of the game going over to Drop Dead Gorgeous, as they have made themselves about a level lead right now. And they're going to be pushing in on the mid lane. Early Dragon Knights don't usually get a ton of value. This is only a 4.5 minute Dragon Knight, so not a ton of pressure on it. But the bigger pressure here is actually in bottom lane with this camp. Mango able to hit the combo onto Gelda, and we actually see MJ Doom charging around. But we will see the full 5-man commitment. Zag, however, does have that camp in the top lane. That's going to be split pushing. So once again, Roll1 Esports actually just, splitting out and getting equal value in the other lane, which is a very nice call. But with the Dragon Knight and the 5 members down here along with this camp, right now this mage still being alive, giving them a ton of extra spell resistance here. Gelda actually sliding in, trying to get some of the members isolated, but they do end up getting the DK down, but they're still pushing in with this wave and this camp. Now with level 10, there's really just not a whole lot that Roll1 Esports can do about this. They are going to go ahead and push in and get this keep. In the top lane, however, the fort goes down, so a little bit of value. Also a ton of damage coming out into Pugs Not Drugs, but with the level 10s, he's just going to pop the Tormented Souls. And they are going to get the 3-for-0 exchange. The stage dive from Gelda. MJ Doom is going to go down. They do get the Genji from the keep damage there. And Zad should be able to be enough to pressure them back here. Gelda actually getting very low. Has got to be careful. But we will see them back off. But 6-minute keep for the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous. 6-minute keep front wall in the top lane for Roll1 Esports. So it's not over. Oh, and they got to be very careful here. Gelda getting low. Mango coming in and saying, my camp. Actually, he's not going to say my camp. He's going to give it to, over to the Vala. And meanwhile, Mango coming in once again. This time he gets the combo onto Chaos, and this time the follow-up is there. They actually missed there on the Rain of Vengeance, but that doesn't really matter. So they'll steal that camp. Roll1 Esports getting some much-needed momentum onto their side. Oh, and the invasion is coming, but it's too late to get the camp. But it will be just in time to clear out the camp. And while the siege camp pushing in the bot, going to be answered to here for the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous. But let's go ahead and look at these level 10s. It is going to be Tormented Souls, Stage Dive, Dragon Blade, Horrify, and the Ancestral Healing coming out for Drop Dead Gorgeous. Meanwhile, we will see Roll1 Esports with the Nidus Network, Deadly Charge coming in, along with Divine Shield, Rain of Vengeance, and Taunt. So Roll1 Esports, gotta be careful how they play this. They don't want to engage in a 5v5 team fight. That's really just not their game. Their game is the Zagara split push and using this 4-man to rotate around and try and get picks if they find any of the members of Drop Dead Gorgeous alone. But right now, with Drop Dead Gorgeous rotating around as 5, they're not going to find that. So what they need to do is they need to rotate around and get these waves cleared out. Make sure that they block the ability for the Dragon Knight to come in for Drop Dead Gorgeous and utilize that Nidus Network to get superior side soak and wave clear pressure in other lanes until they can find Drop Dead Gorgeous out. And that was a good opportunity there. We could have seen MJ Doom do that with members in the bot and members in the mid. So when they're split like this, that's a good opportunity to try and get onto Gelda and get a pick. Same with Pugs Not Drugs here, but right now they're going to rotate out, get camps, secure that top lane. Smart answer here from Drop Dead Gorgeous. They know that they're not going to get a fight while they're up in this 13 talent tier. There's no reason for Roll1 Esports to force a fair fight, because it would be down the advantage for them. So instead, they'll just rotate around and see if they can get some XP and get caught up. Oh, but Mango's got to be careful here. Members of Drop Dead Gorgeous are waiting. We are going to see Gelda grabbing this top shrine. Dragon Knight cap is available. And they're going to bait Roll1 Esports into going after this. The stage dive comes down. Top's getting very low. The Horrify is good to secure the kill. MJ Doom also isolated. Does have that protected status, but it's not going to last long. Varian is going to fall. And once again, the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous playing the macro game. Huge Ancestral onto Trent coming in from Unitas. And now the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous are pushing in with this Dragon Knight into the mid fort. They are on the chase after Mango. He's trying to get himself out of there. Does Gelda have the stun? Not in time. Telekinesis will get Mango out. However, they are going to have to clean up this bot lane. The catapults had gotten in there.
Red team has destroyed.
There is a camp pushing in top lane right now for the side of Roll1 Esports. So with that damaged front wall up there, they are going to have to answer to that. They do send Gelda back to go ahead and pressure that back out. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the comp. The comp is they're good. It's a good strategy. They're not great in 5v5 team fights. They're better at, you know, finding picks and locking down one member at a time and focus firing. So if they take a 5v5 team fight here for Roll1 Esports, it doesn't favor them. It's not to say that they can't win it. It's just it's not something they want to force unless they absolutely have to. Like in the mid there, they felt like they had to force that fight, or else they were going to lose the Dragon Knight. They end up losing the team fight and losing the Dragon Knight anyway, but you know, that's something their shot caller and their team decided they had to do, so they went for it. Nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't really favor them. Because the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous, they don't have a lot of the upside that Roll1 Esports has in terms of global ability and CC and pick potential. They're just strong. They're just a strong team fighting team. They got good dive, good split damage. That's good against the healing of Roll1 Esports. The Uther not good at dealing with spread sustained damage, but he gives the CC and the pick potential. So we are seeing the side of Drop Dead Gorgeous though, grabbing that camp in top, rotating around. They're looking to force a fight with the 16 advantage, and they are almost in position here. Yeah, the stage dive comes in onto Mango, but the telekinesis is good to get him out. But Zad is caught out here in no man's land. The cleanse comes down, preventing the Horrify from getting him out. A huge cleanse there from Tops. MJ Doom a little bit low here, but actually the first to fall is the Genji. And they got to back up though. So many members low. Chaos is trying to get the heal, but the taunt comes down to cancel the life drain. But Varian ends up falling instead. My goodness, Roll1 Esports able to get that one kill, not quite able to secure a second. And that's what I'm talking about. They just don't have the tools. They have the tools to get that pick, but once that went down, they needed to leave. They don't have the chase potential. And but they do have the ability to get that one pick and rotate out to lanes. Quickly get the Zagara in a different lane to side soak and get themselves a 16 here. And especially without 16, that's the real problem there in that team fight. They got the pick, but with that talent tier disadvantage, very difficult for them to continue to secure kills. And look at the rotation coming out here from Drop Dead Gorgeous. This is the advantage that you get from having a squad that's been together for a long time. They quickly rotate out. They make sure that they've got people on both of these cap points, and they get the Dragon Knight right away before Roll1 Esports can regroup and really be able to get back in position here. So they do take the Dragon Knight to the mid. They are going to start poking out damage with the Gul'dan and that fire. The Breath of Fire actually not quite making it to the keep there, though. They're going to charge in and get the knockback onto Mango. And now they're actually going to bring the Dragon Knight in and get some damage onto this keep. They're trading it out for Dragon Knight health, but worth if they end up walking away with a second keep here. And that is exactly what they're going to get. And they will back up. They know that it's not likely for them to get much more. Nobody really cares about the top keep. So they're just going to rotate to the bottom, get a little extra wave clear, and clear out some of this creep. Really making it less effective for for the Zagara there for Roll1. And they're going to go ahead and grab this camp while they're at it. But level 16 is here for Roll1 Esports. MJ Doom out a little bit. We're going to see Gelda hitting the slide there, but the cleanse coming out from Toffs to be able to help him walk away just that much faster. Nice cleanses coming in this game from Toffs. Nice to see. Wish I was that good at cleansing. You're going to see them clearing out this bot lane, have that siege camp stacked up with the catapults, but this one is not over yet, folks. Again, in the top lane, a big stack up here. But this bot lane also, it is winnable if the side of Roll1 Esports get a big team fight win. They're able to continue to pressure, but it's not looking great. 2 keeps down. Kind of a rough position to be in here. I do agree, Phantom. Not Unitas, but Toffs been doing an excellent job. Healing numbers generally low in this match overall. Just from the nature of these two healers, Rhaegar and Uther have not had great numbers recently due to their changes, but it's impactful healing. You know, those ancestral healings when it's just so important to get a low member back up in a big team fight. The chain healing on, the frontliners that are going down or the back line that's being dived, you can get the heals where you need them to be. We also see Rhaegar going into the healing totem at level 4 for just that extra sustained healing. We are going to see, again, the insta-cap of these two shrines and Chaos going in immediately. The stage dive on the back end is going to put a lot of pressure on them, and Chaos will end up getting the Dragon Knight from that pressure. So, again, amazing rotation coming in as the D-Shield is used. But right now, Drop Dead Gorgeous is marching down the mid lane. They've got a couple catapults at their back. They actually send the Malthael out to the bot lane to push that out. And you can see they're slow pushing. They're not pushing this wave directly in because they want to preserve those catapults. They want to keep those catapults back where they're safe until this bottom lane minions come in as well. And now they will come in level 20 right around the corner, and they're getting minions down here to pick up these level 20s. Tormented Souls goes out on the backside. Wanaba is going to be the first one to fall here to the Dragon Strike here from the Genji. The Dragon Knight, meanwhile, is on the core. The catapults are coming in, and that is going to be it. Game number 2 and the series going over to Drop Dead Gorgeous with the domination here. They're able to secure game number 2 on Dragonshire. Huge match for Drop Dead Gorgeous. They looked very good in that game number 2. Excellent rotations. Great team fighting. Just what macro play, They just played the map amazingly well, especially considering they were against a Nidus Network Zagara, where it's very easy to lose the global game and the rotation game. They did an excellent job dealing with that extra lane pressure and rotating around, getting these Dragon Knights capped very quickly, constantly keeping Roll1 Esports on the back foot, never really letting them recover here in this game number 2. I'll give you guys a quick look at these. We're going to give Toffs a cookie. He did play great. Well, you know, sometimes as an Uther, it's just you just can't carry on an Uther anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I know it myself, but we do see the talents coming out from both of these teams. And that is pretty much going to do it for me for this matchup, guys. Congratulations to both of these teams. They both came out and put on a great show tonight. We can do an interview. I certainly don't mind it. Let's go ahead and let's get Pugs Not Drugs in here for an interview. All right, so we are going to hop up into lobby numero uno. I mean, really for me, like, I'm just terrible at interviews. I never know what to ask, but we'll give it a shot. Why not?
You did a great job interviewing us last time.
Did I?
Yeah, man. It was sweet.
Well, that's okay. I'm joined by Gelda and Pugs Not Drugs after their big victory there. Great games, guys. Especially that game one. Very entertaining, very close, but what a call to go to the core. Was that your guys' original call when you rotated up to grab the beacon? Were you guys always thinking backdoor core, or was that just a snap decision after you saw where Roll1 was in that bottom lane?
No, we pushed in to get the top cap, and they were just really far up bottom, and I was like, we're gonna lose. Like, we gotta go core.
Okay.
We started running at their core, and they started running at ours, and we were like, okay, we have 100. We have 100%. You guys have 3. We'll win this. So it worked out really well.
Yeah, it seemed like there was just not enough health, even with the shields there. There was just no way they were going to be able to base race you guys there. So, amazing
yeah, that's what we were
call.
thinking too.
Yeah, it was fun. That's our second core call in 2 weeks. Well, I guess
In like 3 days.
Yeah, I remember that because you guys, I think you guys were behind a lot in that. I think it was game 2. I remembered watching for Sunday night.
Wait, yeah.
Okay, I had it backwards.
By a lot, and then we blew it, and then they caught back up, and then we got like a full Zerg wave, and we couldn't get anything done with it because I think they had Ragnaros angle down. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Aha.
But anyway, those were other games.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so game number 2, you guys come out with a very heavy team fight oriented comp. What was your guys' plan to deal with the Zagara split push and the more global strategy from Roll1?
Gank with the Genji, basically. Our draft, we've been talking about we need to have drafts with purpose, lately. And when we drafted that comp, we're like, did we draft a comp with purpose? But we didn't know for a second, but then we realized like we just had like all the best heroes in the game at the moment. So we felt pretty comfortable. And
we kind of did a fun little opening maneuver play that negated a lot of the early laning phase advantage, I felt like. And kind of just forced this situation where we had their top fort, and so Zagara didn't have that support she normally has in that lane.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Both teams, split out to camps. You guys did different camps, and then you guys, pushed the different lanes and each got a fort out of it. But yeah, it was a great job neutralizing the Zagara, which was probably the toughest matchup there with, if you guys had left it standard, having Pugs Not Drugs up there on the Malthael versus Zad on the Zagara. That doesn't really favor the Malthael, I don't think.
No.
Right.
So yeah, it makes sense. That's very clever. I hadn't thought of it that way.
Then if we just traded lanes like we did, they got bottom and we got top, which isn't always the best lane, but now we control the harder to get to lane with the top, and we're basically even in the match still because we just traded. So
and that was the part, and like down there where we had to put in effort and fight to get back the advantage we lost through the fort at bottom was where we had the stronger team for it. We had the 4-man that could do that and be really effective in that.
All right, guys. Well, excellent game. Congratulations tonight. Do you guys have any shout-outs you want to make?
Shout-outs to the girlfriends.
Yeah, and our teammates, Trent, Chaos, and Unitas.
Unitas. Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas. Yeah, they did great tonight.
I've heard it both ways. But I'm pretty sure I said it both ways several times tonight.
That's the proper way. The true proper way is the way you're doing it. So you're on point.
That's just to do it both ways. That's perfect. It's
Yeah.
the perfect meme. It's the perfect meme. All right, guys. Well, congratulations. Thanks for coming out tonight, and
Thanks for hosting,
enjoy the win.
Yeah, we will. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, well, guys, that's going to do it for me for this matchup, but don't go anywhere. We got another big match coming up next starting at 9 o'clock, so I'll be restarting the stream here, but we're going to have Subject to Change versus Team Conflict here in the B West division. Congratulations once again to Drop Dead Gorgeous for winning themselves a big domination here, and we'll see you guys in just a few minutes. For NGS, I'm Jason. Be right back.